Hi YouTube! Today we are going to make roasted cauliflower curry soup. I have cut up a head of cauliflower and I just literally cut it up into chunks. I have my oven preheated to 425 degrees. I am going to drizzle some olive oil over this. With some sea salt and black pepper. Just like that. I'm going to give these a little bit of a rub to just get the oil and everything incorporated. And I'm going to put these in the oven until they're caramelized, which is probably going to take about 25-30 minutes. Bring you back when I start the next step. So here I have roughly chopped up 2 carrots, 2 stalks of celery, an onion, and I had some leftover zucchini, so it's going in the pot, but you do not need to add the zucchini. So in this pot here, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil and let that start getting heated. And again, you just need those roughly chopped. They're all going to be pureed, so you don't need to worry about precision or anything like that. So you will need a Vitamix, a blender, an emulsion blender, anything that you would use to blend that up. Okay, so once that is just heating up here, we're going to add in our onion, carrots, celery, and I'll probably just add in the zucchini as well. Again, the zucchini was just something I added in because it was in my fridge and it was going to go bad. And you just really want to sweat these off. You don't need to, nothing fancy. Soften them up. I'm also going to add a couple cloves of garlic. Again, it's going to be pureed, so it doesn't have to be minced up really fine. Just get them out of the skins here. And I'm just going to cut them in half. Probably 2 or 3 cloves, depending on the size of your cloves. You can't have too much garlic, so. We're also going to add about 4 cups of chicken stock. Now, if you're making this vegetarian style, you can use vegetable stock. Use whatever you have on hand. And I think that's it for the veggies. And I'm just going to cook this off and wait for my cauliflower to be done in the oven. Okay, so these are still getting soft. I'm going to add my 4 cups of stock. This is probably only actually 2, but we will add more. You might need a little bit more stock as well when you puree it. If it gets too thick, you'll need a little bit of stock to thin it out. I'm also going to add my spices. So I have in this dish here a tablespoon of curry powder, a teaspoon of ginger, a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of pepper, black pepper, and that's it. Ginger, curry, salt and pepper. Oh, and sorry, I did a half a teaspoon of turmeric and a half a teaspoon of hot red pepper flakes. Now, if you don't like the heat, don't add them. So we're just going to add that in. And again, we're just waiting for that cauliflower to finish up. And we'll add that in and soften everything. Once that's all softened up, then we will be pureeing this. I will bring you back when we start that process. Okay, so at this point you want to give it a taste. Make sure it tastes, you know, like you want it. Is it too salty? Is it too peppery? Is it not enough? Everything like that. So you'd want to give that a taste and make sure everything is where you kind of want it to be. There is going to be some coconut milk in here, so it will change it a little bit, but you'll get a good idea. So I'm just going to take the cauliflower out of the oven. It is done. It's nice and roasted. I can show you that. Tinfoil's all crazy there. So as you can see, that's nice and roasted, nice and brown, nice and caramelized. We're going to add that right into this pot. You can keep a couple of pieces out if you want for like garnish or anything like that. If you're just making this for your house though, you definitely don't need to do that. I'm just going to dump that right in. You will also need to check and make sure that your carrots and everything are cooked. Mine are. I've already checked. There we go. So we are going to start pureeing this, essentially. I am going to be using a NutriBullet because that is what I have. But again, like I said at the beginning, you could use a food processor, a blender, a Vitamix, an immersion blender, anything you like. So I will show you what I do for that. Okay, so because I don't have anything that is big enough to puree this all in one batch, I have to do small batches in my NutriBullet cup. So I have a bowl handy there because it's actually, for me, easier to dump this into a bowl and then put it back into the pot. So I'm gonna dump what I can in this bowl here. And then I'm just going to scoop the rest into my NutriBullet cup here. And I'll just show you that in 1 second here. Now you don't have to make this super fine. It's going to get a little bit creamy just from the by pureeing it. But if you have a little bit of, you want a little bit more texture, leave a little bit chunky. So we're just going to add some of that broth in there. Now again, like I said, you might need more broth for this process. I do have some on hand just in case. So I'm just going to put my, I'll show you in 1 second. Okay, so I just put the contents right into the NutriBullet and I'm going to put it onto the base and puree. And that's good for me. So now I'm just going to, keep doing this with the whole batch, and as I empty it, I'm going to dump it into the pot that you were cooking in. So we're just going to dump that right in there. And I'm going to keep doing that. So we're just going to ladle this into there. And puree. I'll bring you back when I'm adding the milk. Okay, so in the pot we have our pureed soup. That's all that's in there. I'll just show you the consistency. So you can see it's, you can see that. Now I'm going to add a 15-ounce can of coconut milk. So I'm just going to add that right in there. The whole thing. The full fat works out better, but you can use half fat or low fat. All right, we're just gonna mix that up. Again, if it's a little too thick at this point, mine is perfect. But if it is not, you can add a little bit more of your stock. And that is roasted cauliflower curry soup. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.